Hey everyone, dailyvlog's adventure here. So it's been a little bit since I made a video as well, but I just wanted to kind of talk about how things have been going. For me, work has been going decent. A couple of things have occurred. I was able to finish the AI proof of concept that we were looking into with that Octomine product. And I know I mentioned in a previous video that we weren't going to recommend it, so that was the plan. Just kind of wrote the document, made sure that we finalized that to submit it, so I got that completed. The other thing I was looking into to having done at the end of this month was the visual regression testing. That kind of just uses some code to compare images, whether it's like a stored one on a site to another one on a site, or getting the value of an image and then changing it and then verifying that those changed, things like that. So I ended up getting some tests for that written, got that merged out, so that's been good. We have been having some issues with getting stuff merged. It seems like we keep having these weird locking issues, and some of my tests that use the lock have been failing, so I tried making changes to them, which maybe had made some things worse, but then I reverted those changes and they've still been the same, so I know it wasn't necessarily anything that I've done, at least. But yeah, glad things have been moving along there. I've been doing more trainings with the manual folks. I've actually got one today lined up, so I know those have been good because I met with my boss a couple of days ago in my one-on-one, and he just mentioned all of the praise he's been getting, how great I've been doing with the stuff. And he's mentioned people have reached out to him to let him know that as well. So glad these trainings have been going well for people, because ideally I want that to kind of be the bridge to get them over into engineering and out of just being manual testers. And yeah, he mentioned talks of promotions for me, which is great. Of course, I don't know if I necessarily want to get back into like management, which would be, a little bit down the road, but I know that's kind of what I had told them last year. When I was looking to move into my current role, because I was in QA leadership and wanted out of that environment and to kind of move into engineering. And of course I kind of mentioned, it's like I was trying to move into engineering anyway in a leadership role, but it's kind of hard if you don't understand code to try and be over people who do know code. So I was like, no, I don't want to try to be hybrid or try and learn while being in my current role. I want to move, over into engineering, really understand it and learn, and then I've already got my leadership and managerial experience, and I kind of use that to facilitate some things. Of course, people throughout the company, to make sure that I get answers and help with stuff that I'm working on. But yeah, as I start learning more and growing and can mentor and help people, then that just helps me be a strong candidate if I decide to apply for any kind of open position or opportunity that kind of falls into a role like that. But yeah, it's been good. Cleared out some more goals, got some more things figured out. One thing I still need to do personal-wise is we have these notifications that we test, and I believe I mentioned this in another video as well. So we have two different environments that we can use for testing. One's kind of internal, one's external for customers, but they're still testing environments. But our backend database is only set up for one of those in terms of like endpoints and like sending calls. And in that case, it's only set up for our internal side, which is okay, except every couple of weeks or maybe months, we switch which environment we test on. So these tests that use this endpoint in the backend will always pass until we switch to use the other side. Then they'll always fail because there's nothing set up there on that endpoint. And so I had a personal goal to try and alleviate that by creating some front-end steps that use the UI to create these notifications to fix those kind of tests. So they have like a split workflow. So it's like, if you're on this environment, use the existing code. If you're on this environment, use the new code that I've written. And one of my coworkers was looking into it too for some of her tests that don't fall into my my group's responsibilities or my team's like the pages were over. So she was looking into that. I gave her my code. She knows some trickiness as well. As I look more into it, I notice it as well, because the remaining tests that I was researching and looking into don't have a split like that. They've already got their own split. They use it in a way that it's probably helpful, but it was probably also just lazy on the devs' part, because what they end up doing was they use that code to hit the endpoint for these tests that just generate the notifications, and then they use the front-end UI to verify it. Of course, that's very quick because it does that. It creates some but because of that split, it makes it a little bit harder when I'm trying to write some of my tests, because now I have to still generate a notification, but I have to set up some stuff. So it's like, if it's using this block, use that. If not, use this other one. And I'm kind of just trying to piece that out. And then there are other things, like the one that was generating certain notifications. It was generating like a decent sized list of them for these specific ones that then need to be triggered, and writing those steps out in the UI would be a lot. And it would also require, I don't know, probably like 30 minutes of setup for the test as it's running through, just to get it ready to then actually run the test, which could fail immediately depending on how the setup goes. And then you're not really testing anything still. You're like, the setup just failed. So we're looking into that a bit, trying to figure out a better way to kind of handle that. But that's where I'm at right now. It is Friday, so mostly a chill day. I was able to get my stuff merged in, so happy with that, especially with the month coming to a close soon. And yeah, I've got some PTO scheduled, so I'll be taking the week after the 4th of July off and trying to find some things to do around town, trying to make the most of it, especially with summer and everything like that. So don't want the kids to be bored, trying to make some memories, and just take it day by day. But that's the current plan. I'm just happy I'm able to get some of the stuff closed out. Of course, that doesn't mean there's going to be more new things that come up, which there already are a couple of things, but they're not as high a priority to me, in terms of me taking some time off now, that I feel like I'm not going to be further behind in a sense. So that's what I got going on. Also working on some more giveaways for my Instagram for people that are into Pokemon. Actually doing one of the giveaway winners today, so that'll be nice. And yeah, we'll kind of see how it goes. I still need to upload my yard project videos. I was trying to do it as I did like a full landscaping thing of the yard, but I realized that's gonna probably take longer, and then this video is just never gonna happen. So maybe I break it up and I just kind of show off, like, hey, this is what we did at the front yard, and just kind of have that out there. And then maybe some ongoing projects that I'm working on, just so there's like progress to that. And I'm also just trying to consistently get some content up as well for anyone that is interested in what's going on in my life and the adventure and the journey of it. So but yeah, if I have anything else, I'll add it in. Otherwise, this will be the end of the video. So stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.